Hi guys, so today I wanted to talk about our nervous system and the importance of having a regulated nervous system on your twin flame journey, because your twin flame journey is a healing journey and it is a feeling journey. So in order for us to feel our feelings and move through our feelings, we need to make sure that we're in a state of regulation and that we are in a state where we feel safe, right? And so feeling safe can be like in our body, in our mind, and in our environment as well. So when we feel safe in our body, in our mind, in our environment, it gives us space to actually feel the true feelings that we do have, you know? So the one of the nervous system cycles I wanted to talk about with the unregulated nervous system is called fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. So these are kind of like, think of it like a cycle. And so fight is basically think of it like when you have, I'm pretty sure a lot of us learned this back in school, but the example I like to use is, imagine when you're in a fight state, your sympathetic nervous system is activated, and it's only to defend ourselves and to survive and to make sure that we are safe, right? So there's no need to judge yourself if your parasympathetic nervous system is activated. And even though when we are, let's say, in the company of our twin flame or anybody else, even though they're not like a real threat to us, and they're not gonna, realistically harm us. However, this is very like primitive and it's embedded in our biology, right? So from way back, throwback, that's how human evolution happened, is through survival, right? And so when you're experiencing these symptoms or this adrenaline in the fight state, which is irritability, anger, you could be experiencing, just this urgency to want to run. So that in itself is an indication that your parasympathetic nervous system is activated. And this activation can, because we live in a society with other humans, that's why this gets activated, because we think that there is a threat from that person. And your twin flame is going to amplify it, because your twin flame is you. So they're going to show you your own patterns that you've been running. And these old patterns can come from previous relationships, previous experiences, from childhood. So it's not that like your twin flame is the one that's causing it. Like the pain or the urgency is already exists in the central nervous system, right? And then your twin flame who amplifies that. So instead of projecting onto them and saying that they're causing me this pain, it's just that that pain was always dormant and now it's waking up to be healed. So that way your nervous system can have the capacity to hold and embody divine love. So that's why on the twin flame journey, it is a radical transformation that you go through. So fight is the first one. So if you notice that you're irritable, you're angry, you're aggressive, it's basically like you're feeling a threat and you want to like just fight, right? And so if that's what you're doing with your twin flame or with anybody else, just be aware of it and just give it a name. That, okay, I am experiencing this right now. And what you want to do when you are in a fight state is just remove yourself from the environment, remove yourself from the stimulus, or remove yourself from the person, so you can come to a place of balance before you continue to engage with the person. And then the second part of the cycle is flight, right? So the first one is fight, where we're like, okay, I'm fist up and I'm ready to rumble, or irritability, anger. Second one is flight. This is when you just want to run away, right? So it's anxiety, it's fear, it's panic, it's avoidance, it's chronic worrying and perfectionism. So all of this causes the flight activation, right? So it's when we want to run away and escape. We have basically looked at the environment or the people around us, and because we think, oh, they're causing all of this to me, first you feel angry, and then you feel anxiety, panic, all of that stuff, and then you run away. So you don't necessarily need to remove yourself from the environment, because nobody outside of you has the power to make you feel a specific way. And this is where the teachings of union by Jeff and Shilia are so important, because the truth is that nobody outside of you has power over you and can make you feel a certain way, right? So this is where you want to claim your power and claim your safety, and that you stay in the embodiment of love, and you do not give your power away to the outside environment or the person. And that's really where in the twin flame journey you can ground into love and safety, right? So that's the second part of the cycle. And then the third one is freeze, okay? So what happens when we freeze is that we start to feel a collapse, or we start to feel paralyzed. We disassociate. It's depression, feeling shame, feeling like you can't mobilize, right? So you're just kind of like frozen, like freeze. So that's another thing that can happen. And if obviously you're feeling frozen, you're not feeling your feelings, everything is on pause, right? And so you want to be aware of that as well. So when you're having this freeze cycle, what you can do is actually, this is a good thing that I do, and it always helps me, is to be in water or in nature. So like I can, think of it like a ice, like a frozen ice pack that needs to just thaw. So so you want to and the ice is going to thaw when there's warmth, right? So you can essentially have a nice bath, like a hot bath, go in water, go to the spa. So that way that kind of frozen feeling starts to thaw itself, okay? And then the last one is called fawn, okay? So fawning is not like, I feel like that commonly heard, but fawning is another trauma response, which is people pleasing, avoiding conflict. So when you, let's say you just kind of, like, it can look kind of manipulative, but it's actually a very intelligent way to keep yourself safe and to survive. And I think there is some research in psychology where there were some victims of like abuse. They were locked up for, I think, years by their abuser, and then they started to develop some positive feelings for the abuser. And so when that happens, it's just a survival adaptation to create positive feelings towards your abuser to survive. So it's really intelligent. Like the biology of humans is so intelligent to survive. However, on the twin flame journey, when you want to embody love and your divine self, and be with your twin flame, if you are in trauma adaptations, it's not grounded in love. So that's why you want to just heal through and move through this at a compassionate pace, obviously. So yeah, so then like with avoiding conflict is like, you know, instead of like causing a argument, you just want to be diplomatic. And so you're not being your true authentic self, and you're not honoring your feelings when you're trying to avoid conflict and people please by fawning, because it will pay, like you're gonna pay for it afterwards, because the nervous system needs to relax and come back to equilibrium and come back to regulation. And another example of fawning is prioritizing other people, putting other people's needs over your needs. And a great example of this is, let's say, you know, you have a schedule to go to work for 5 days a week, and you know, you've moved to a different country or whatever, and then people want to visit you, or you've moved to a new home, and you're just trying to settle. So like your needs are probably to make sure that you're supported spiritually, financially, everything is in order, that you're eating well, you have a good routine down, that you are, you know, exercising. And so that's like the need of a stable and secure person in their home to make sure that they're safe. So, and that takes time to like settle. And then imagine like you have friends or family like coming over, and then you're putting their needs before yours, so you're interrupting your own schedule for them. So that's an example of prioritizing other people's needs or their fun over your well-being. And so there's a difficulty in saying no there in fawning, and also setting boundaries is very difficult. And so it's just, step one is to make sure that you become aware of any of these patterns that you're having or running. And once you become aware of them, only then can you change and heal through them. And of course, there is always support available. You can write a comment if you feel that you are having any of these cycles that you cycle through in your twin flame journey, or just in life, or in your career, at work, anywhere. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope this video helped all of you.